Good evening, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for the third and final time of the night for July 5th, 2013, Saturday night around 8 p.m. The sun's going down in Billerica. It's a nice, calm, and comfortable and cool evening. We won't get too many of these this summer because it's probably going to be hot and humid most of the time. We're in New England. There's only two seasons. Winter and summer, and they seem to be 6 months long. Some news to report. The Netherlands beat Costa Rica at the World Cup in penalty kicks by the score of 4-3 as they played 120 minutes of a 0-0 game. And the Netherlands are now in the Final Four for the World Cup soccer. And also sad news to report in Billerica, Massachusetts. Former Billerica selectman and state representative Brian Kanjamia passed away at the age of 52. No cause of death has been announced, but Brian, for the past few years, has been very ill health. Prayers to his family. He was a good state representative selectman back in the 90s for Billerica. He was pretty popular, and he tried to get back becoming a selectman and a state representative to Billerica, but he wasn't voted back in. It's too bad. Anyway, my last subject of the night is my personality profile, and it's the personality profile of former professional wrestler Sid Vicious / Sid Justice Syco Sid, the so-called master and ruler of the world. Sid grew up in West Memphis, Arkansas, and he was a very big pro wrestling fan. And he got to watch a lot of pro wrestling through like Jerry Lawler's CWA, and he actually met Jerry Lawler one time, and he wanted to become a professional wrestler. And in his mid-20s, he became a professional wrestler. First, he wrestled under a Jason-styled hockey mask called Lord Humongous, he wrestled in Southern Independence. Then in 1988, he wrestled under the name Sid Vicious in Memphis and World Class Championship Wrestling. And in 1989, he went to WCW to wrestle as Sid Vicious, and he was a tag team partner with Dance By Me, and they were called the Skyscrapers, and they were managed by Teddy Long, and they got a big push in the tag team ranks in the summer of 1989 and the fall of 1989. They were nicknamed the Team of the 90s, but they never made it through 1990 because Sid Vicious got injured. He punctured a lung and he was out for several months. And then he came back in the springtime of 1990 to WCW to become a member of a Four Horsemen with Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, and Barry Windham. And Sid got a big push for the WCW World Championship in Halloween Havoc 1990. Sid Vicious wrestled Sting for the world title, and he thought he won the world title, but actually it was a fake Sting he pinned that turned out to be his horseman partner Barry Windham, who dressed as Sting. And then Sid wins the belt for a few minutes, but the real Sting comes out and the match continues and Sting wins that. And then Sid Vicious continued to be a monster heel. He was a good standing member of the Four Horsemen until like May of 1991, where he gave his notice to WCW and became Sid Justice. But Sid Justice had to wait several months to be actually in a WWE match because he had a no-compete clause with his WCW contract. When he left the company, he couldn't wrestle for like 90 days, and they had promos promoting Sid Justice as the next big thing in the WWE. And during this time, Sid Justice played some softball, which he got very comfortable, and he would do that when he would skip a lot when he would leave promotions. He would, in the springtime, he would always play softball. Anyway, Sid Justice got a major push. The fans cheered for him. He appeared on camera for the first time, being the special guest referee for SummerSlam 1991 tag team match between Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior against Sergeant Slaughter, Kuna Mustafa, and General Adnan. And he was a special guest referee, and he got a big reaction from the crowd at Madison Square Garden for the referee at SummerSlam 91. The fans were going wild, and he was being pushed as a mega babyface, the number 2 babyface in WWE at that time behind Hulk Hogan. He had a feud with Jake the Snake Roberts, but during a house show match in October of 1991, he tore his bicep and he missed 3 months. And when he came back in the Royal Rumble 1992, he eliminated Hulk Hogan the next to last part, and it was him and Ric Flair were the final 2, but Hogan shook Sid Vicious just his hand and threw him over the top rope, and that was causing Flair to win the World WWE title at the Royal Rumble 92. And then Sid Justice turned heel and took Dr. Harvey Whippleman as his manager, and Sid wrestled Hogan at WrestleMania 8 as the co-main event. But during this time, Sid Justice flunked a drug test, and after WrestleMania, he wrestled on the European tour in a couple of house shows, but he was then forced to serve that suspension, and he quit the promotion, and he played softball. And then he resurfaced in WCW in 1993, managed by Colonel Robert Parker, and he formed a tag team with Vader, and they were the Masters of the Powerbomb, and they had some great matches with Steen and the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. And actually, the plan was for Sid to turn on Vader and become a babyface, and in Starrcade 93, there were plans for Sid to become WCW World Champion over Vader. In fact, the Disney WCW tapings in October 1993, they taped 3 months worth of episodes with Sid as a champion, but in late October of 1993, during a European tour, Sid Vicious got into an argument with Arn Anderson over the direction of the company, and then they double stabbed each other with scissors, and both of them were severely hurt. And when Sid got back to the States, WCW fired him, and he disappeared again. He reappeared to wrestle in Memphis again for about 6 months in 1994. Then the WWE called again, and he became Shawn Michaels' bodyguard for WrestleMania 11, when Shawn wrestled Big Daddy Cool for the WWE Championship, and then Diesel won. And then the next time, on the next night on Raw, Shawn Michaels fires Sid as his bodyguard, and then Sid says, "You don't give me the night off. You show me some respect." And then during the commercial, Sid gives 3 powerbombs to Shawn Michaels, and then a few weeks later, Sid joins the $1 Million Corporation, and then he and Big Daddy Cool Diesel have a feud over the WWE Championship, which lasted several months, and this was when the WWE was in the tank business-wise. Sid continued to got pushed down the cards, feuding with Henry Godwin and others. Towards the end of 1995, he and the 1-2-3 Kid formed the tag team, and they were slated to win the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble 1996, but Sid suffered a severe neck injury, and he left the company again. He was not seen for 6 months, but he reappeared in the summer of 1996 to be part of Shawn Michaels' tag team with Ahmed Johnson for In Your House International Incident, and then Sid gets a big push again towards the WWE World title. He beats the British Bulldog, Owen Hart, and others, including Vader, to get a #1 title shot to face Shawn Michaels at Survivor Series 1996, which Sid was actually booked as the heel, but the crowd at Madison Square Garden popped, and he won the world title at Madison Square Garden Survivor Series 1996. He held it for 2 months, but he dropped it to Shawn Michaels at Royal Rumble 1997 in Shawn Michaels' hometown at San Antonio, Texas. But Sid was slated to win the belt back at a special Monday Night Raw Thursday night at Lowell, Massachusetts, and February 1997, but Sean's got stripped of the title because he lost his smile, and then said a couple of days later got the title back on Monday Night Raw against Bret the Hitman Hart, and then WrestleMania 13, Sid wrestles The Undertaker for the WWE Championship, and the Undertaker wins, and then afterwards Sid disappears again. He was not seen in wrestling for 2 years until he shows up in early 1999 at ECW. He made some appearances in ECW, but he didn't get paid for it because ECW had financial difficulties and got mad, and then he went back to WCW as the bodyguard for Macho Man Randy Savage, and then he gets another big push. He wins the U.S. title. For the next year and a half or so, he's in some major feuds and stuff, and then in January 2001, Sid Vicious, in a tag team, in a fatal 4-way, he goes off the top ropes and breaks his leg gruesomely, tibia and fibula, and that was the last of Sid in a major match ever. Took months for him to recover, and then he did recover. Then he's been semi-retired from professional wrestling. He pops up on the indie scene once in a while. He's now into bodybuilding for the Masters bodybuilding, and he made an appearance for WWE 2012 for the Raw 1000 episode. Sid Vicious is just one of the biggest characters in pro wrestling history, who could have been very big if he did not if he consistently stayed on top of the business, because he had such a good character. He was a face and a heel, and he could have been one of the biggest stars of all time, but every so often he would walk out because of softball and other stuff. But his promos were some of the greatest. I like his promos. I am the master, I'm the man, and I'm the ruler of the world. I'll power bomb you down to the ground. He was great, and I think he's going to go into WWE Hall of Fame one of these days. I'll be back tomorrow with at least 3 to 6 more blogs. Some of the subjects I'm thinking about talking about in the coming days is what do I think the NHL players should continue to play at the Winter Olympics every 4 years. Also, is Dale Murphy a Hall of Fame candidate, and several classic television shows I'm going to talk about, including The Joker's Wild, Card Sharks, T.J. Hooker, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, and a lot of personality 44 is going to come up, including Gordon Soley, Al Michaels, and so many others. And if you want a special shout out, private message me and I'll shout you out anytime, any person. Okay? Have a good night, Facebook friends. Bye.